actually have them right here. So whenever I go on retreat, I like to bring, a couple books to read. And so these are two books that I recently brought with me to retreat. One is called The Reckless Way of Love. And it's about Dorothy Day. And I spent some time living at a Catholic worker house before I was a Daughter of Charity, and just really admire Dorothy Day and her wisdom. And so this book has different chapters with different themes like faith and prayer, and it pulls some quotes from her writings as meditations. So I really recommend it if you're interested in Dorothy Day and kind of her spirit.
And her spirit being one of social justice.
For sure, yeah, and serving the poor, nonviolence. She was a peace activist, and just really seeing Christ in the person of the poor, which sounds Vincentian, right? And that's kind of how I was raised in my vocation, was with the Vincentian charism, with the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, and with the Catholic worker. And so that's kind of a bit of my spirituality.
How about a better question? What is that in the background? That's no longer the beautiful chapel.
Oh, this is Pete the Cat. Yeah, Pete the Cat, great storybooks for young children.
Yeah, you can tell what you do for your ministry, that's for sure.
Yeah, I work with young children as a speech-language pathologist. So yeah, a lot of children's literature.
Yeah, and what's weird, the cat's eyes look like yours.
Do they? I don't think anybody has ever told me that I resemble Pete the Cat before, so there's a first time for everything.
Yeah, there you go, okay.
Favorite quote. I mean, going with Dorothy Day, I mean, since I just talked about her, she's on my mind, but the greatest, I'm not going to get it right. But anyway, no, I don't want to go there. The borderline perfectionist in me is like, I don't want to quote something wrong, if this is going to go out there on the internet. If you were to give me a whole bunch of money, I would want to start some sort of business where folks who would otherwise not be able to get a job can have work experience and kind of have that dignity of work. Yeah, because I think especially if you've been in prison, you have very limited opportunities for jobs, and so I really believe in the dignity of work. Catholic worker, and in just providing opportunities for folks to, invest in themselves. So yeah, if I was given a whole bunch of money, I don't know what the community'd want to do, but that's a ministry idea I have. Yeah, I think, just at the top of my head, like some sort of atmosphere that I find the sacred is water. Whether I'm in a boat, especially, I love to be out on the water. But here in Chicago, I'm just dying to go out on Lake Michigan, but I don't know anybody with a boat. But still waiting for that friend. I spend a lot of time here in Chicago near Lake Michigan, running along Lake Michigan, sunrises above Lake Michigan, one of my favorites. I love when the darkness turns to light early morning, especially if you're near water. That's like top notch.
So do you take a lot of baths?
No, not any baths.
You really connect with God bathing?
No, I can't say. Over, for sure. Yeah, without a doubt. Over, yeah. It rolls off better. It tears better, so then it doesn't keep rolling, and then you have it all over the floor. Yeah, that's an easy question. Sister Rosalie Rondu is a Daughter of Charity, and she's a blessed. She kind of brought me to the community, so she's also very special to me.
And she's the co-founder of the Society of the St. Vincent de Paul.
Some people say that. So, but Rosalie Rondeau, she was, a very bold woman who just responded to the needs of her time fearlessly. Because like if you're thinking about Paris during this time period, in the 19th century, it's like the play Les Mis, when they're in the barricades, can you hear the people sing, she was in there, in that kind of struggle, serving the people. And I think about, when you're in the middle of like social uprising and upheaval, where are you? And I just pray that I can be like Rosalie Rondeau and be in it with God's people. I'm kind of a New Testament gal, and especially the Gospels.
Can I interrupt for a moment?
Yes.
Can you switch the background? I'm getting tired looking at your bedroom.
I don't know what else I have here. I might have to go digging.
Make it something interesting. I'm surprised you don't have any water backgrounds.
I don't do they're all like cartoons. I've got this one.
Because you work with kids. Oh, there you go. Okay.
The first thing that popped in my mind is, Lord, it is good that we are here. Transfiguration. And so often I find that just very simple response from Peter just flying out of my heart. Sometimes when I'm like overwhelmed, mostly with joy, sometimes less so with fear, that's what's kind of erupting from my heart. And I identify with a lot of Peter's responses, because he's like wholehearted, all in, and it's so human, and he doesn't get it quite right much of the time. But when he does, who do you say that I am? He's like, bing, 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 nailed it, and Jesus is like, don't tell anybody. I have to think about that. I would do away with in an instant.
Not puppies. Like
no, this is Spot. This is another great children's book, which I didn't know it came from England. If you go on YouTube, it's like, where's Spot? And I'm like, I didn't know he was British. Single-use plastic. Like if we really, like, this would be huge, got away with every single-use plastic item, whether it be a Gatorade bottle, a plastic bag, or the plastic container that your string cheese comes in, all of our packaging, all that. Like, could you imagine how different society would be if we didn't have all that single-use plastic? And I think we'll get there at some point. Our earth deserves it and demands it, I think. But anyway, I guess that's my spontaneous response from an introvert who didn't have time to think about it. What do you call a sleepwalking nun?
Huh.
A Roman Catholic.